My first official guest. I'm sorry, you're going to be on the podcast? Who knows
what
where
we're
this
getting
is going to go? We don't know.
I am a new woman.
90 degrees. I'm still drinking hot coffee. Not cow milk. I don't know.
People think I'm wild. Wow.
So,
Am I an influencer? I think what's new is just like putting stuff out there and not really caring. Oh, like this goes by really quickly. Like date night isn't impactful just because you left the house.
share these with the class.
We talk spiritually, we talk relationally, and then we talk intimacy.
Go get your girl flowers from Trader
Get your
Joe's.
girl flowers. He's kind of
Right.
like, okay, like
Do it.
Go for
Yeah.
it. You're you and I mean. I have this feeling. And like feels annoying to have to talk about my feelings. God, who are my three? Like I don't even think I have one. And you just make time for what is priority.
Our season is back.
Thriving right now. Like, well, okay. Is this not what we are called to in scripture?
I gained nothing from that. They're weird. They don't do anything fun.
Time serving your family is not time wasted.
I love that.
Quite literally, you are raising up the
100%.
next generation. Yeah. God has made these flowers beautiful, and he's also made me beautiful.
Like,
no, we have the exact same calling.
My flowers wouldn't look as pretty.
Nothing's wasted. Baylor, this was crazy. I was literally freaking out. Who cares? Brews with Bay. Wow. Okay, I'm really excited. Ooh, now I can show the howdy hey.
It's perfect timing. We love it. Cheers.
Okay.
Howdy hey, and welcome to Brews with Bay. We're here. Okay, so we have Abby Stark on our episode this week. I'm so excited. She's my first official guest. We had our like little dream session coffee date the other week, and I was like, I'm sorry, you're going to be on the podcast if you're down for it.
It's an honor.
And we love it. Abby and I know each other from high school. We went to college together. We did a women's ministry together. Abby was very kind and let me join her in that. But yeah, so Abby Stark, how long have you been married now?
It'll be 7 years. June 23rd.
Married to her high school sweetheart.
High school sweetheart.
We love it.
Wow.
It's so cute. We both went to UT, Knoxville, go Vols. So she's the best. I freaking love her. Such a godly woman and just like so thoughtful and has dreams on her heart that she's doing and chasing and like so many ideas and just like really creative. And so I'm excited to get to talk. Just like chat, have our little coffee. I'm pretty sure the last time we had coffee, we were chatting for like an hour and a half. And we were like, our car, like our parking's up, and we left. We were like, we need to go to our car. And then I think we stood in the parking lot for another like 30 minutes talking.
We really did. And we were like, why didn't we just mic ourselves up for this whole conversation? Because it was so good and so rich.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, who knows
what
we're getting into.
Go. We don't know. It'll be a fun little thing. But first things first, what's your go-to coffee order? Or like, how do you make your coffee typically? Whether it's at home or at a place. Or maybe it's different for each. Mine's different for if I'm at home or at a coffee
pretty
shop.
boring.
Okay.
Pretty boring. So my go-to coffee at all times is just black drip.
Fair, yeah.
When I'm out. But if I'm wanting to feel kind of bougie, pour over.
Pour over. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite bean? Like a favorite place that you get your stuff from, or do you just like kind of?
I don't have a favorite. Like I haven't gone to that level of like, Ethiopian, Colombian, washed, unwashed. Like,
yeah, that gets really.
I don't really know all of that stuff yet.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the yet. But my favorite beans are from Crema.
Yeah, you actually got me on a Crema kick.
Big Crema girl. Like I ride or die. Like I will say. Crema is the best coffee shop in Nashville. Yeah. So majority of the time, pour over just black or just like a drip coffee, like kind of thing. So plain. But in the afternoons, sometimes I'll go for a latte.
Okay. I saw you made a latte on your Instagram the other day.
I did.
It looked really sweet.
I think I am a new woman. I don't know. I think it's the warm weather.
Is she a cold coffee girly?
Well, I can't say I am an iced coffee girl. Because I am in my deepest self hot coffee.
Yeah, no, same.
Through and through. It's so hot coffee, please.
90 degrees. I'm still drinking hot coffee.
I'm still drinking a hot 100%. Coffee. But I saw a girl that I follow on TikTok made this iced coffee. And I was like, oh, that looks kind of fun and different. It felt refreshing.
Okay.
Tried it. Very good. I loved it.
We love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been getting into my like fruity. I think I told you this. Like,
yeah, I'm not there yet with the blueberry, the strawberry. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I have gotten actually 3 times last week. I got a blueberry latte because I went to Drips 3 times in a row.
You love it.
I do love it. and I saw that they had blueberry latte currently because it's like some spring thing that they're doing. I'm like, yes, I will have it every day. Thank you. And it's supposed to be iced, but I was like, nah, we're getting it hot. Sorry.
I feel like if you get it hot, does it kind of like blueberry muffin like?
Probably. Yeah.
Like, what if you put a little brown sugar in there?
Ooh.
Like a brown sugar blueberry
that would probably
latte
be really good.
situation.
Maybe we need to have just an episode where we just like try new coffees. We'll be caffeinated.
I also am only saying brown sugar because
you did the brown sugar.
I put the brown sugar in my iced latte.
No, but we love it
because I saw a girl do it and it was really good. I enjoyed it. I also have a friend who made a blueberry syrup and she like boiled the. Wait, you've been doing this?
I didn't boil them though, so I need to try that.
Boil them and then she put simple syrup and then I think maybe sugar.
Yeah.
Stir it all up and then she let it cool.
Mine, I just did like mashed blueberry. Well, I did raspberries, but mashed raspberries, sugar, and warm water. And then you can just put it in the fridge and it's basically like a simple syrup.
And you put it in your hot coffee?
Yeah. Because I got hooked on that. Crema had that like raspberry, like Saint Valentine or something.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Day, and I was obsessed. But it was basically like a flat white. So it wasn't like super like milky. You know how like sometimes you get a latte and it's like I'm just drinking milk.
And it's always when you order it oat milk or almond milk. Like I was on a phase of what's that called? Not real milk.
Yeah, like the non-dairy or
non-dairy.
Like like not cow milk. I don't know.
I was on a non-dairy kick for a hot
like
sec.
The alternative milks.
And alternative milk. And anytime I got an oat milk latte, almond milk latte, I was like, it tastes like milk. Like I'm literally drinking milk with about a teaspoon of coffee.
100%. I was doing oat milk for a long time and now I'm like back to just like whole milk when they make it. Because I'm like, I don't want like it.
Don't give me 2%. Don't give me the 1%.
Whole milk.
Whole milk. Give me the cow's milk.
I don't know the last time that I actually had just like whole milk in my fridge until my sister and I were like, we're gonna make lattes with like whole milk and like screw it.
Well, it froths better.
Yes. The way we said it. At the same time.
Okay,
we're the same human when it comes to coffee.
I do have a question though. Okay. Recently, I've been on a matcha kick. What's your opinion of matcha? Because some people are very against it.
Okay, I was confused by it at first, but I have a friend in LA who loves matcha. She makes it all the time.
Of course. Yeah. I feel like that's such a California thing.
It's a very LA thing to do. Yeah. But she like made me a matcha. Actually, I had several friends that were really into it. And so like a couple friend of mine, they made me a matcha once. And then she had made me one. The first time I was like, this tastes like grass. But then it kind of grew on me. And like if you make it like kind of sweet, it's like really good. Yeah. And it feels like it's probably better caffeine wise, like not as like intense. Yeah. On your body as like.
Well, I also feel like it's
chemicals
not as we're drinking. Also the way that I have my pinky under it, like I need the support.
No, but that's literally me. I'm either like this and I'm like, okay, you need to chill with that. Or I like just go for the full like hug of a coffee mug.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, we're going to go with this for now. Howdy hey. I feel like it's probably better because it's not as acidic as well.
100%.
Like so I've kind of gotten in this place where I have my coffee in the morning. This is my second cup of black. So
I should have done decaf for you.
No, it's totally fine. And then.
You don't have to drink it all.
And then I've kind of gotten into doing a matcha in the afternoon.
That's a good one.
Which I'm trying to not get addicted to caffeine.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to have like caffeine withdrawals, but.
Well, and it's not even the caffeine that I want. I just purely love a fun drink.
Yes.
I just want, like, it's like a little reward.
Yeah.
And I am 100%. Like, I don't want a soda.
Yeah.
I don't want just some crazy sugary something. I just want a little piece of fun for my afternoon.
I'm like, I like the warm drinks because it's like all cozy. I just feel like it's like, I said it I think in the first episode, but I was like, it's like a hug in a cup. Like it's just so cozy. Yeah. And like, I don't know, there's something about like a hot drink in general.
Okay, which this is really funny about us because we are summer girls.
Yes, 100%. Like we don't like the winter.
No, which I know that you love Christmas.
I do love Christmas, but I don't want the cold.
Not the cold.
Give me an Australian Christmas.
Honestly, a Hawaiian,
yes,
whatever that song is.
Yeah.
But big summer girls.
Yes.
Love the beach. Always want to be hot, warm.
100%.
but we're also like, give me my freaking
give me my hot coffee.
coffee.
It was like 80 degrees the other day, and I went down to Surefire, and they were like, do you want that hot or ice? And I was like, hot. And she was like, hot? And I was like, yeah.
Well, it's like, why are you even asking me that question? That's how I feel about the milk now too. They're like, what is whole milk okay? I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't it be?
That should be the standard.
Yeah.
Hot should be the standard.
Hot should be the standard. And then you have to specify.
It's like in the South, you have to like specify if you want unsweet tea.
Yes.
It's like, it's sweet tea. If you say tea, I'm assuming it's going to be sweet.
Yes.
I'm going to say unsweet. If
I think it's because, I think we talked about this before. Like iced coffee, which we're talking so much about coffee.
This is what happens though.
Iced coffee is like trendy right now.
Yes, it is.
Which John Michael and I were talking about that the other day, and he was genuinely annoyed.
John Michael is her husband, by the way, if you haven't gathered.
Of 7 years. And he was just like, that's annoying that a drink is trendy.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a flavor that's popular.
Right. It's like, just like
the whole concept of iced coffee, all about the shake.
Yes. Which is funny too, because I feel like those are the same girls that are like, my stomach hurts. And I was like, yeah, because you're drinking iced coffee. There's something about iced coffee that like, I feel like wrecks the stomach.
I think it's because you drink it so fast.
Probably.
Which is what I was reminded of yesterday when I made my iced coffee. I sat down to read a book and I was like, oh, this is going to be so cozy. It's like a beautiful day. I'm enjoying this. I mean, I hadn't even read one page and I felt like my whole iced coffee was gone. I was slurping it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So that was enjoyable for 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, cool. Where's my next one?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me turn you on to this.
Okay. Tell me.
Have you ever been to Dos?
Yes.
Okay. So have you ever had the Barcelona at Dos?
No.
Okay. It's this like cold brew, but they have a house made salted caramel whip.
Oh, yum.
Like cream thing that they put on the top of the cold brew. And I got an iced matcha with the house made whip on top of it. So good.
That sounds heavenly.
And their matcha, they add a little lavender in there too. So it's extra springy with the caramel and the salt.
I feel like that would like make it to where it's not so earthy.
Yeah.
It's like has that floral taste and then it's not like overpowering like I'm drinking grass.
Yeah, which I don't feel like that anymore. I think it's an acquired taste. Yeah.
But I think coffee is too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like us drinking black coffee is not normal for most people.
No.
I feel like a lot of people like need all the sugar and stuff.
People think I'm wild for drinking black coffee.
They think
I'm
it's
just
crazy.
like, it's purest form.
I'm obsessed. Which also, you're the reason why I like love to bring coffee mugs to like places randomly, like real coffee mugs to places that you shouldn't be bringing real coffee mugs to, like church or something, because you used to do it in college. I don't know if you like realized that you did that, but like you did. And I saw you one day and I was like, oh my goodness, I love that. I want to be like her. I'm gonna do it in college. Like we're friends and I'm like, I want to be like her.
Honestly, I love it. That I actually was thinking about that the other day and I need to bring it back. It was my thing. Yeah. Like I kind of like
proud
I was like kind of proud. Yeah. Because I would bring my real coffee mug into church every single Sunday. Not a single drip dropped. Not
you made
a broken mug. Nothing. I'm me driving with it. I was so proud of myself. And it was like my signature thing.
Yeah.
But then I got gifted an Ember mug.
Oh yeah. And those are good ones.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Because they keep your coffee hot, right?
Yes. For so long. And you can get like a little lid, like a travel lid. And it was like $10 or something like that. Yeah, so it's perfect. And so now I just use that every day. Like even when I'm at home. But I feel like I need to bring it back. Because this just is cozy. There's
something about like a fun coffee mug. I don't know. Because like I love the idea of like having my coffee hot. But then I'm like, I want a cute coffee mug. Like I want fun ones, ones that I like care about. I did get one of those like ceramic ones that has like fake lid basically.
I've been seeing you bring that to church and it has like the lip where you can slurp and then you could also put a straw in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably more so for a straw, but I was like, screw that, I'm easy. I don't do cold coffee. No. So hot coffee. Yeah. But I've been seeing that and they have them on Etsy and I like want to get one of like the full coffee mugs, but they had that one in 30A while I was down there and I was like, I need that.
Is it hard to hold because it doesn't have a handle?
It actually has like a spot for your thumb, like an indention spot, like where your thumb fits perfectly in it. So I don't hate it.
You don't risk it.
No, I feel fine when I do it. Okay. I do think the handle is like an extra layer of protection because like, but the only thing is like if I dropped it, it's just going to pour on me. If I dropped the other, it's just falling out my hand and then it's on the ground. which seems like maybe a better choice.
But that just feels sad. Like
shattered. Then it would break. That's the thing is at our church, it's like we got fold out chairs. Like I get scared.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But I saw one because I saw you were using it and I was like, oh, that's cute. What is that? And I saw one at Dozen. Have you been there?
No, I was trying to think of that yesterday. I almost texted you.
You need to go.
Okay. Yeah, because you were talking about the last time.
Yeah, and they have crema coffee.
Okay. Yeah, see, we love that.
The blueberry muffins.
Yeah.
Okay, plug.
Okay. We love.
Go to Dozen. Blueberry muffin. But they have like a little like cute artisan section and they had some pottery. Well, I'm assuming it's local. I don't actually know.
Who knows?
But they had a one of the exact same things that you had, but one was really fat and my hand was fully expanded and I was like, yeah, I would drop this. I was like, I'm straining. And then one was smaller and it was a little bit more comfortable, but I still felt risky.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Etsy has some where they like have like handles and stuff. You just have to like, there's
have
like
you seen
a lead
the ones
time.
where your fingers like go in and it's like a little sleeping bag?
I kind of like that. Yeah. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
I kind of want one. But yeah, no, you got me on the kick of that.
I love
and
that.
Honestly, the people in LA, the gym that I went to, they were like, here she comes with her like regular coffee mug. So I became you for my gym people in LA.
You brought it to the gym.
Ooh,
that's
like to
next
a CrossFit
level.
gym, which is like very like grungy.
I mean, shaking. I feel people are dropping weights.
People thought I was crazy. And it was like my hot coffee. So they're like, are you drinking your hot coffee on a 90 something? And I'm like, yes, I am. In my personal coffee mug that's like not to go.
I love it.
But I thought of you every time. I was like, this is like the Abby
thing.
So
I'm honored.
You brought that to me and then I got to bring that to LA.
And then you got to bring it to LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
am I an influencer?
You are an influencer. Wait, this is a great segue. Hold on.
Oh no. Okay.
If we want to talk about it.
Okay.
You are like dipping your toes into social media.
I am.
How do we feel about it? Do we want to talk about this? Are you good? Okay. Are we cool?
Yeah, we can totally talk about this. I think it's just because it's still so new and I have
100%.
literally no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
At all. And social media it's always been a fun space for me, like a fun, creative thing.
She's had like an Instagram for a long time. Abby's had her Instagram. So it's not that she's like just new to like Instagram. Yeah. It's more so like the TikTok and like being really intentional maybe.
Yeah. And I think honestly, what's new is just like putting stuff out there and not really caring like what people are thinking.
So real.
Because I think my Instagram for so long, which it still kind of feels like this, Instagram feels very curated.
Yeah.
But not in like a fake way.
Right.
It feels curated in like a... Like I kind of think of Instagram as my personal photo album.
Right.
It's like, I want to like mark moments in my life, like special trips, special events, things of that sort. It just feels
the pictures that you'd pull and like you put in a photo album. It's not going to be like the janky ones. You're going to put like the ones that you want to remember.
It's like, this was like a really sweet picture of John Michael and I, and we like watched the sunset on this unique trip or whatever. Yeah. Like that feels just like sweet and what I would want to scroll through and like remember what I felt like in that moment.
Which we need to come back to travel.
Okay. So my Instagram feed has always felt like that. Stories is always where I was a little more rogue.
Yeah.
Maybe not rogue. That's maybe not the right word.
More like personal.
Yeah, more personal. It felt like, you get an actual inside look into my day-to-day life.
Like a behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. That's really what it feels like of, I'm going to the grocery store. We're going on a walk.
Yeah.
We're doing date night.
Which I live for your date night post. Like, I think it's so cute. One, I love that y'all prioritize it. Like,
we do.
It's a weekly thing, right?
Yes, every Wednesday. Which that can be an even a whole separate conversation that I'm really passionate about. We didn't used to do date nights. I think we were maybe like 2 years into our marriage. And that's when we realized, like this goes by really quickly.
Yeah.
We say what our moms say now, like, like life goes fast. Yeah. And it's like actually so true.
100%.
And we were 2 years into our marriage and we were like, oh my goodness, like what are the things that we want to prioritize in our marriage? And we just like sat down and had a really long intentional conversation about that. And one of the things that rose to the surface were like, hey, we want to continue to be really in touch with one another.
Yeah.
So we decided we should do a weekly date night. And then like as we've done the date nights, it started off just like we would go to dinner and that was that. And then we were kind of like maybe we should be more intentional with this. So we came up with some questions, which do you want me to veer off into this?
Let's go for it. I mean, if you want to, I'm down.
Okay. Well,
this could just be, I mean, literally welcome to the chaos. This is like
media,
life.
We'll go back to social media. Basically, we decided, we want to be really intentional with these date nights and not just use it as a time to like go out to eat and spend money.
Right. Yeah.
What's like
we
whatever.
could do that at home.
Like we can, like that like doesn't, like date night isn't impactful just because you left the house.
Right. Yeah.
Date night is impactful only if you're intentional and in your conversation. Yeah. And so we use Wednesdays as like our check-in.
I love that
time.
Yeah.
And we came up, it was like really cute. We sat down, we were like, okay, what 3 things do we always want to make sure we talk about? So our first, do you want me to go through the 3 questions?
Yeah, go
okay.
for it. Share these with everyone.
Okay. Because I do think that they've really changed the game for us. So we talk spiritually, we talk relationally, and then we talk intimacy. And so our first question is, what are you learning? And so this is like in a spiritual sense,
right?
Which I'm also such a learner. I love to learn. So, but this is more specifically like, hey, what is God teaching you? What are you reading in the Word? What's He like maybe convicting you of or revealing to you? And that's always really fun because, you know, I'll go on this like whole big long ramble of like, this is what the Lord's teaching me, and then I saw this in Scripture and I read that, and blah blah blah. That's a whole conversation. And then he shares like what he's learning, and sometimes we're learning the same things. Right now we're both in Colossians, that's what church is in, and so that's been really fun, of things that are standing out to him in Scripture are maybe the same or different from what's standing out to me,
which is cool in both instances, because it's like, oh cool, the Lord's like really trying to speak to us through this because we're both seeing it, or it's 2 different things and it's like, oh, so cool that the Lord's speaking to you in a completely different way through the same passage. Yeah. Which is just like such a neat thing to see.
Absolutely. And it's just like, whoa, God is so big and so good that He can speak so directly and intimately to me, and also speak so directly and
with the same words, essentially.
Yeah, but it's like hitting in a different way.
Right.
So that's our first question. What are you learning? Our second question is like, have you felt loved by me? And if so, like how? Like, have you felt loved, and how have you felt loved?
That's so good.
And then if the answer is no, like,
you're like, oh shoot.
Oh, like why? Like what did I do that made you not feel loved? Yeah, and like, so kind of answering that first of like, yes, I have felt loved, or no, and this is why. And I think that's been really sweet, because it has forced, I think is an aggressive term, but I can't think of another one right now. Like throughout the week, it actually makes us recognize what are the big things, the little things, the things that usually go unnoticed that do actually make me feel loved. Yeah. And that might be, oh, you brought me flowers. That one always gets me.
Like, yeah.
Bring me flowers.
Well, I mean, I guess some girls aren't into it, but I'm like, bring a girl flowers. I don't care if they die in 2 days. I'm going to love that you brought them. Please. They can be the $5 ones from Trader Joe's.
Yes.
You can bring me 1 flower for
Trader
all that
Joe's.
matters.
Good flower selection.
Great flower selection, actually. Go get your girl flowers from Trader Joe's.
Get your girl flowers. All you boys listening. So have that conversation of how have you felt loved? Have you not felt loved? How can I love you better? Kind of thing. Yeah. And so that really pinpoints our relationship. Like where are we at? And it's just sweet. For whatever either of us say, we can remember, ooh, like I can do that again.
Yeah, because it's like learning their love language to some extent. Because like you might know generally, but it's like, okay, this one like really speaks to them. And like, if I want to be really intentional about making them feel loved that day, then I can do that thing. Yeah. And it's just cool to like be able to like really be in touch with your, like, I think it's good to be that intentional about your relationship. Cause like you said, it's easy to go through it and be like, oh, well, like I forgot that you did this or that. And like, or they clean and you're like, oh my goodness, that's something that I like really needed. Like you doing that on a busy day, like made me feel so loved and like appreciated and like taken care of. And like those little things that we might easily just bypass, but instead it's like, y'all are taking the time to like really recognize those. And it's kind of like, I think about it too from like a gratitude standpoint. Like the more you look for something, the more you see it. And so even with that, like y'all making that a like weekly thing that you're paying attention to makes it probably so much easier to see, and probably helps like your relationship that much more, just because you're recognizing the things that they're doing that makes you feel so loved, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. It really does. And I think a sweet thing that we've been able to see too is oftentimes it's not even the the action that gets brought up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sometimes it will. I mean, it's like, oh, like you went to the grocery store, you cleaned, like whatever. Like that's always going to be like, thank you. Like I really appreciated that. But so often it's actually the smaller things of like, hey, you noticed that I was feeling kind of sad and you just like came and hugged me. Like I really needed that. Or me like jumping into this whole social media thing. Like John Michael's been very just encouraging and supportive of it.
Yeah.
Like that has made me feel really loved. That he's not making fun of me or like asking a bunch of questions. He's kind of like, okay, like do it. Go for it. So that's our second question. And then the third question is, how is intimacy? And so just like a general check-in of like, are we on the same page? Do we need to switch things up or whatever it might look like? Yeah, make some changes. And I think this is like intimate, but I think that intimacy is so often not talked about in marriage. And it's something that quickly, I mean, just because it's like really personal and so weird how even in marriage though it can feel like you're you and I'm me and I have this feeling and but you need to talk about it with your spouse. And I think, I mean, we've gone through seasons where we like weren't talking about it and we were like, oh, we need to bring this back up. And actually talking about it brings us closer together as well because it puts emphasis and importance on it. And it is just this like beautiful gift from the Lord that isn't just a gift. Like I do believe it is a health contributor to your marriage.
Yeah. 100%.
And so we talk about that as well. And so those are 3 questions we go through every single week. And it's like fun to see the change in our answers every week. Yeah. But also then there are some weeks where it's like, I said this last week and like I say it again. I still feel loved by this, or this is still what I'm learning, or whatever it might be. And we now encourage like all of our married friends to pick a date night, and we like encourage them to ask these questions because they are such important parts of your marriage, like your spiritual health, your relational health, and then your intimate health. And so we just put emphasis on those and make sure we don't sweep things under the rug, because it's easy to do that. Things go unnoticed, things go untalked about, and then next thing you know, there's like a grudge or a pain point, or you're just like really uncomfortable talking about whatever.
Well, and the more you talk and the more like open you are, the easier it's going to be. And it's going to be a lot harder, maybe not harder, but it's like just more natural for you to be open because like you're so used to talking about it. So it's like, okay, cool. Like this is just another day. We're just going to continue to talk about it. Like it's normal, because it is normal for us.
It's so normal. Yeah.
And I think that's great that y'all like, I love that y'all do it every week too. Because I think a lot of people might be like, oh, we'll do it like once a month, which I think is also great. Like any communication is good communication, but like the fact that y'all make it a point every week to like really check in, because like to some extent you're like, oh well, things might not have changed that much in a week, but also a lot can change in a week, and you can feel like a very different way about certain things, especially like with women. You know, we have our like moments where it's like we're all over the place, and like you kind of need like that check-in of like, this is what I needed this week, or this is what I need next week, or whatever, and being able to check in and like have that open line of communication constantly just sounds like a great way to do it. I love that y'all do that.
It's so good.
taking note of that for the future.
Really. And like, we didn't come up with this concept, you know. It's like we like saw other couples that were prioritizing date nights, which also we don't have kids right now, so it's very easy for us to do that when we can pick any night. But even something that I see is like Wednesday will come around, we're at date night, and John Michael kind of look at me, he'd be like, okay, like
let's go.
Like, do you want to do our date night questions now? And there are truly times, like there are weeks where I'm just like, like it's like feels annoying to have to talk about my feelings. But every time, like once we get into it, it's like, oh, that was so good and that was so purposeful. And like, I'm glad that I shared that frustration, or I'm glad that I shared that concern or whatever. And I think any week that I feel that, what's the word? Like kind of like begrudgingness, like really towards it. That's when I'm like, oh, I need like, we need to have this conversation. And maybe not we need it in that week because something went wrong. It's like, oh no, we need to make sure we're every week checking in, being open and honest with one another. Because if I feel like that in a 7-day time span, I mean, what would it be like 2 weeks, a month. Like,
well, and then it's easier for you to be like, oh, well, we didn't do it last week, so we don't have to do it this week either.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to just like get off track. Like that having that habit makes it a lot easier to be like consistent with it, probably.
Yeah. So that is
I love
night.
that.
Those are the date night questions. We prioritize date night.
I love
and
those.
We've seen that in the past 5 years really, really enhance our marriage. And even though we're together every single day and we have so much fun together every single day, date night is just like a night of the week that we really look forward to. And sometimes we go out, sometimes we stay in, but no matter what, we try to be really intentional.
I was like, it's the intentionality of it. Cause like, it's easy to just get in the rhythm of like, oh, I'm just going to like, we're having a meal together. Cause like, you'll probably have most of your meals together.
Every
like,
meal. Yeah.
So it's like, it's just another meal, but like setting time aside to be like super intentional about the conversation that you have, which I mean, like, I'm sure y'all are having like intentional conversations otherwise, but to be intentional about your relationship specifically, I think that's cool.
Yeah. That's the night when it's like really intentional about like specified set things. Like we're not really like coming up with what are we being intentional. It's like, okay, we know we're going to talk about this. We know we're going to
I like
this.
that. It's like already set up. So like, you know exactly what you're talking about. So it's like, you're not having to be like, how do I ask about, like, y'all know what you're going to talk about, which I think also makes it easier too.
It makes it
like,
less intimidating.
Right. Cause you already know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
you're
like,
this is normal.
Oh
like,
yeah. We did kind of like get in a tiff. You're probably going to bring it up. And it's like you just like know. Yeah. And there have been times where both of us, we've been like I knew you were going to bring this up. And like, again, like we've already like done through the whole like apology situation, but it's like nice sometimes to bring it back up. Not in like a, remember you did this, but in like a shame, hey, this like did hurt me, and the way that we handled it like made me feel loved. And so it's like almost
how you resolved it.
Yeah. So it's almost like, hey, rather than like looking at that as a bad negative thing that happened, actually the results were really good.
We learned.
And I now want us to look back on it positively. Yeah. Because we learned something, we grew, and now we can move forward into our next week.
Yeah. And like knowing how to resolve something like that in the future. Like if it's a certain thing, it's like, okay, now we know how to handle this well, rather than having to like take the time to figure out how we're going to handle it. Like you already kind of know.
Yeah. And not that these are like big.
Right. Yeah. They're not in like a...
Not like big things.
These are just like your everyday,
just
like
your small everyday,
like, normal life things, but like something random that is just like the human, like with any relationship. I mean, like anybody that you're like spending time with consistently, it's like even friends, you have the same thing, which that would be interesting to take that into like a friend, like being intentional about conversations, even with friends.
Which I think that you totally could.
You'd change.
Well, you would change
obviously.
The questions. Yeah.
But like being intentional about like your close relationships in your life. I think that's really cool.
Well, and I think friendships it's easy for them to not be prioritized. And I don't think that you need to prioritize every single friendship.
100%.
Just that's a lot. But I think I so often go back to the model of Jesus of like, he had the 12, but then like within the 12, he had the 3. And I think there are times where I have like asked the Lord, like, God, who are my 3? Like, I don't even think I have 1. Like,
you're like, where is
John Michael? Like, that's it. Like, he's like my only friend. And then there are other seasons where I'm like, oh, I feel like I have a lot of friends, but like, who are the people that I should give this like more intimate access to? And I think the Lord totally just reveals that to you. And 100%. Then you can create those rhythms of checking in and those rhythms of, and that probably isn't a weekly check-in.
Right. It's probably a little bit less consistent. But like being intentional even in that, because I think it's easy. I think that's where you see a lot of like the friend breakups or whatever. It's like people let things go under the rug for so long and then they just get like frustrated. But yeah, I think that's really cool though about like what y'all do for your date nights. I love your date night stuff. And I love that. I think that's so like eye-opening and just like gonna be helpful for people and just like a cool thing for people to implement into their lives. Cause like, yeah, you're not even 30, but like y'all have been married for 7 years and like arguably being younger when you're married, like could be a lot more challenging, probably is more challenging in some instances because like you're still figuring out life. You're like starting life earlier as opposed to somebody who's older and maybe like has their maybe not life figured out because we're all trying to figure it out. But like, you know, like I just think that's so cool that like y'all were able to implement that so early and let's like something that y'all have grown from and something that you've learned a lot from and been able to like really see the fruit of.
For sure. And I think it's actually something that now we lead a small group of young married couples and this is like one of our number one things that we encourage.
I love it. Yeah.
And the reason being is when you're newly married, you don't have rhythms yet.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have a weekly schedule. You don't have your things.
You're
figuring it all out. And it's like, man, what if from the get-go you have set aside one night a week? I encourage weekly, especially before children. You set aside this one night a week, and then all of your people, your whole community knows, like, oh, they're not available.
Yeah, we know that they're doing something. That is their night.
Yeah, that's like their night, because we didn't start it till 2 years in. So there was a little bit of an adjustment period where we had to start, we do Wednesdays, and we had to start saying like, oh no, we're not available on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or like when friends are like reaching out, we never toss out a Wednesday.
Right.
Or like our parents have been like, hey, can we get together on Wednesday? And we're like, no, it's date night. And like, so all of our people now know that we really try to safeguard that evening. And it's been really sweet. It's actually inspired like my in-laws. They do date night now. My parents, like, they've talked about it as well. I don't think that they do questions or really anything like that, but they have started to set aside like an evening throughout their week
for themselves, which I think is great. And I love that y'all are like intentional about the day and like it being like it's always Wednesday, because like then it's another thing where you don't have to question it. You made it easy in the sense like you're setting yourself up for as much success as possible by not being like, oh, we've got to figure out a day, and then the end of the week comes and you're like, well, crap, when are we going to do it? Like, you already know it's Wednesday.
We already know. And when we're looking at our calendar, it's just like, it's like a blackout day, basically. Like same thing as Sunday morning. It's like, you don't make plans on Sunday morning. Like you're going to church. And like Wednesday, we don't make plans Wednesday evening. We're going on date night.
Yeah. Which I love. And I think
not that those are like the same.
Right.
level.
But like, but in a sense, like, you know, to become one, like like it's very much like a biblical thing that the Lord has. And like, he is, it's like a holy, like sacred thing.
Yeah.
And so like, I think it is like, it's obviously not the same as Sunday, but it is in some sense, because it is that community. I mean, like, we find the Lord in all these different aspects.
Yeah.
Like church isn't, you don't go to church and that's where God is. Like he's with you everywhere. It's just a way for you to fellowship. And so like that is a sense of fellowship for y'all. Like that Wednesday night. But I think it's cool too that y'all like make a point to tell it to other people too, because then you get to be that example to some extent to other people, and like just be like maybe an encouragement even for that, to where they're like, oh, like they do that every week. Maybe we should try it even once every other week or once a month or whatever it is, like making it more intentional. And I think it makes it easier for other people to be like, oh no, sorry, we have date night. Like they won't feel as bad, because they're like, no, they also have their date night. So if we say no because we have ours, like it's okay. It's not going to be like this crazy thing. Like we all know this is our date night. We're being intentional about it. And I just think it's cool that you're being able to be that example and like seeing it like happen in like your in-laws and stuff, like other people wanting to do it. I think that's cool. And just like having that intentional time is like a sweet thing to have.
It's sweet. And you just make time for what is priority.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like friends are priority 100%. And like family is priority, but like none of that matters if we as a married couple unit aren't healthy and in the right place. And so
there's 6 other days in the week.
Yeah.
You can take the one where it's like specifically for y'all.
Yeah.
And like making sure you're pouring into each other and into your relationship. And then the rest, like you have 6 other days to figure out the rest of it. So I love that.
It's fun. We love it.
That. I love seeing all y'all's things. And I love your like Saturday morning waffles.
Yes. So that's another thing.
I love it.
We did waffles for a really long time. And then we had like a little waffle maker.
Yeah, that's what I have every morning for breakfast.
I love it.
I'm a child.
Okay, I love it. I love
little
it.
Protein waffles.
Yes.
Chocolate chip.
The Kodiak.
Actually, Trader Joe's has better ones. They have a protein. I think they're better. They don't taste as proteiny.
Yeah.
Like it's not as.
That is my only thing with the Kodiak is
Trader Joe's
texture.
Yeah.
There's like a little.
It's a little gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just started using those. We were like, we need to not be buying Bisquick anymore.
Try Trader Joe's, and it's cheaper than Kodiak. Kodiak, it's like $8 or whatever for a thing. And Trader Joe's, I spend like maybe $4 or $5 for a box.
Okay, I need to look at the box.
Love it. Looks like it's a man with the weights. I'll show you. I have 2 in there.
Perfect.
I love theirs. I think they actually don't taste like super.
Yeah, I need to try it.
So anyway, they're pretty good.
I need to try it. But we did waffle Saturdays for a hot period of time. And then we kind of fell out of it because it is a little bit of a process.
Right.
And like if you're trying to cook eggs or sausage or something.
All the things.
It's just all different timing. When
yeah.
It's ready.
100%. Yeah.
So we kind of fell out of
Especially with the little waffle makers, like one at a time.
Yes, literally. And so then we started doing just like other little breakfast something. But this past Saturday, I was like, I really want to bring back the waffles.
Yeah.
I've
It's
just
that
been-
time of year. It's like getting nice out.
Yeah. And it was just like, it's a sweet, fun, it just feels fun and special.
Yeah.
To have
And
a
almost like
waffle.
a slow morning.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a relaxed way to
Yes.
start your day
Yes.
almost.
Which also our Saturday breakfast, we
Mhm.
are usually not sitting down until about 12:30.
Which I love.
Like it is lunch, but we call it breakfast. And then we're not even getting out of the house until like 2.
Yeah, but like it's just fun because y'all are just getting to like have your time, like have your
Yeah.
morning together.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Nobody has any plans on
It's
Saturday.
chill. It's
Sabbath.
slow. When the sun is out.
It's
so
the
good.
best.
Yeah.
We're like back into that season. Praise
Yes.
the Lord.
Yes.
Our season
The windows,
is back.
the windows cracked. Yes, our season.
Our
we,
season is
we're
coming back.
thriving right now. Like,
I'm like I instantly like I'm significantly happier.
Yes.
I'm like the sun's out. It's
Mhm.
getting warmer.
Mhm.
It'll be 90.
I mean, I'm
100.
like a rotisserie chicken. Just,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just baking out there. I'm like, give me the tan.
Yeah.
Give me all the things. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Date night. That's what we were
Date
talking
night. We were talking about social media.
about. Okay, we were talking about social media.
Do you want to go back?
We can.
Whoa, 48 minutes in.
I know. See, we're going to have multiple episodes. We're going to have a couple
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a lot of things that we could talk about. Like, honestly, we could probably wrap it at this point. I kind of want to go back to social media just like briefly because
Okay.
we started with it.
Yeah.
And I think it would be fun to like kind of like round it out to like,
Where I'm at now.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we were talking about, because that's how you got onto it was like
Yes.
we were talking about how you post
Stories.
on stories
Yes.
on your date nights, which I think is cool too, because like
Okay.
how cool that we got to like have this whole thing about that. And also that people are seeing your date nights. Like I notice it and I'm like, oh, I love how intentional because I see it every week. I'm like, oh, it's their date night. Like, and I think it's cool that people are getting to see that. And like, even if you don't realize it, like it's making an impact for people to see like, oh, they're intentional
Yeah.
about their date night. They're intentional about what they're doing and spending their time in their relationship. And so I think that's like the cool thing about social media is like, I love seeing your morning when you're doing your like Bible reading and like having your moment and like you make it pretty. Like it's like a fun, or it looks like it's a fun moment. Like you have your coffee, your flowers, you have your Bible out and you're like just enjoying your time.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool to like see those rhythms in people's lives and just getting to see how people are doing life in a real way. Yes, it looks pretty, but it's not like this curated, like this is real life. Like,
Yeah.
this is like what a normal day looks like,
Yeah.
which I love.
And I think that's something I've been learning about social media is people like just the silly little videos.
Yeah.
And not even that they like them, but like what you're doing in your daily life. Well, okay. Is this not what we are called to in scripture? Like
Yeah.
that like people are to see Jesus in the way that you live.
Mhm,
And it's like people, just like to see, oh, you're normal and you're doing this and it's impacting you in that way. Oh, maybe I want to try that too. And I think date night is the perfect example of that. Of like, that's just something that we do. It feels silly sometimes when I'm posting about it. But I've
love
had
it.
so many people say, I am implementing date nights into my marriage because I saw you do it. Like so many people
Well,
have
you can just
messaged
see
me
the
that.
fruit of your marriage from that. Like you can see the fruit of like the relationship that y'all have from like your intentional time together. Like the fruit of that is like seeing how beautiful your relationship is. That's not to say that it's easy or that you don't have your own like struggles and hardships, but like you get to see like y'all are intentional about it, so you're able to work through those probably a bit easier than somebody who doesn't talk about or isn't intentional with their time and like really prioritizing the time to be open and vulnerable and like spending quality time with somebody. Because you can be in the same room with somebody and not actually like interact with them in any way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, I mean you could have like a one-on-one like hang and then just walk away being like,
I gained nothing from that.
We like just didn't really talk about anything that mattered,
right?
Like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so so that's what it's like. Instagram stories, like they're just a fun little glimpse into my daily life, and I just like to kind of fun with them. I enjoy highlighting like the pretty things in life, kind of thing. And so,
which I think is the perspective that you have. Like I think that, which I think is a good perspective, like seeing the beautiful things in life. I think, like I said earlier, like whatever you look for is what you end up seeing. Yeah. And the more you see it, the more you're going to look for it. It's kind of like this like weird circle, like cycle thing. And so it's easy, especially with social media, to look for the bad in life. Yeah. And so I like that yours is like, I'm choosing to find the good, find the beauty, find the pretty things in life. Even if they're like silly to some people. Yeah. I love seeing it.
It's like, well, I found it beautiful, so like I
even,
wanted to share it. Yeah.
Like I literally am living for your content. I'm not even on social media that much these days. Like I'm just on it to like post and then like quickly like look through stuff, but your stuff is always at the top of my thing. I think because I interact with it so much.
Yeah, I love
it. And so like I see all of your stuff, and so like you had your like flowers that you're arranging. I'm like, I just love that. Like it's just like such you're finding the joy in the little things in life, and I think that's so sweet and like helps probably see more of that beauty. I think the more you look for things, the more you do. Also, I like that you said that people should see Jesus in you, like in the way that you're acting. I don't know if you listen to, is it Josiah McQueen? Josiah.
I don't know.
He has several songs. I think he has one with Forrest Frank currently.
Okay.
But there's a song that he has, and I think it's Garden in Manhattan. But one of his lines is, if I'm the closest thing to a Bible that they read, let the words they read be what you wrote. And I love that because I'm like, that's so real. Like some people may never get to see or may never like take the time to read the Bible or like be in a church. And so like we have to be the Bible to them. Like we have to like, if we're the only Bible that they get to read, like what are they reading? Like what are the words that they're reading? Are they reading love and compassion and I don't know, like just the way that like the character of Jesus, or are they seeing like us being divisive or like finding the negative or whatever? So I love that like your Instagram is a reflection of Jesus in a sense, even if it's not like I'm posting scripture, which you do, but like also just getting to see like the beauty of life. You're enjoying the little things and enjoying the creation that he has, which I think is so cool. Wow. I love the like little things.
Thank
I love
you.
Like the beautiful.
That's so kind. And I feel very encouraged just like hearing you say that, like, that's what you see. Because it's like silly little things. Of,
we think it's silly, but it's like whatever. People love it.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh man, like I feel like the majority of people who follow me are women. So it's like, are women seeing Jesus, or are they being drawn to him, or is sharing this a way that a woman can understand God's character in a new way? And so hearing you say all that, that's really, really kind and really encouraging. And I want to post on social media. Like, I think it's fun and it's creative and it's like a little outlet, but there needs to be purpose there. And the purpose isn't to highlight my life. Like,
right. 100%.
The purpose is to highlight the Lord.
And I think that shows in what you're posting, and like even what you were saying about like seeing that it's like normal people doing life, and it's like there's almost like, which maybe it's not real and maybe it's my own perception, but I feel like there's this stigma of like Christians that are like, they're weird, they don't do anything fun. I think a lot of people view, especially that aren't Christians, view Christians as like, or maybe again this might just be my perception, but I feel like they view it as like it's this set of rules, like they're like stick in the mud, like not that fun, like they have all these rules that they have to live by, but it's like no, there's like so much freedom in that. And so like getting to see that, and I think just seeing that like you're a normal human that like does cute cool things and fun things and like enjoys life, but like you're living life for Jesus. And like even your posts when you're like serving, getting groceries, or like cooking for your family, like
time
wasted.
Serving your family is not time wasted.
Which I love every time you post that, because I think some people like probably really need to hear that, because I think it's easy, especially for moms, to be able to be going through and it's like what I'm doing doesn't matter, or like they feel like I'm just a stay-at-home mom or whatever. And it's like, no, that's intentional. Like, it's like such a calling and such a massive gift, and also just like such a massive responsibility. And so I think seeing that, like, what did you say? Serving your family.
Time spent serving your family is never time wasted.
I love that. I think that's like such a good, like, I love seeing that. And I'm like, oh, that's so real. Yeah. Because it like, it's not time wasted. It's not like time such wasted. A beautiful thing. And I think seeing that, I like that you post it, and like that you post it consistently, because again, it's like, you're just seeing a normal person do normal life things, but it's beautiful. And it's like, it's not like you're not going to Tulum. You're not going to Coachella to post this beautiful. I'm saying that because I'm seeing everybody post on Coachella. But everybody's posting their pictures. But like, you see all these people go on these like big influencer trips and whatever else. And it's like, oh, that's beautiful. But like, I could never recreate that, because like, I don't have that resource, or I don't have that lifestyle. I don't have those opportunities. But it's like, you're creating beautiful content and beautiful things in your daily life. And not even just content, but like, you're seeing the beauty of your daily life and the things that you're posting. And like, that's something that's like easily able to be recreated, because it's nothing that's like out of reach. It's like, you can go get your Trader Joe flowers and like enjoy your beautiful flowers for the day, or you can go like just serve your family in a certain way. And it's like, these are all tangible things that aren't like out of reach for the everyday person, which I love. So it's beautiful content, but it's also like tangible. It's like something that is like within reach. It's approachable, I guess, or relatable.
Yeah.
Which I love that content. Like, I love when you can see something beautiful and it's still relatable. It's not like, oh, cool. Well, like, that's fun for you because you have X, Y, and Z.
Access to whatever. Yeah. And I think something cool is like the things that I repeat them because they're underlying messages that I believe the Lord has taught me and is teaching me. And I want others to see and know it. And even as you were talking, I'm just thinking about like, okay, yeah, what are the things that I'm pretty repeatedly on a weekly basis talking about? And it's date night, which we just went into why date night is important. The grocery thing and serving your family is like kind of a newer thing that I've become passionate about. I'm not a mom. And
you don't have to be a mom.
I don't have to be a mom, but I keep my house for my husband and I. But I've recently like become actually so passionate about the importance of that and just like the importance and the value of the home. And I think, which is a whole other conversation too, but like I think we've taken the emphasis outside of the home where actually the most important sphere of influence is within your four walls,
whether there's kids in it or not.
Yeah. And I think when kids are introduced, it's like, these are little image bearers and like you're raising up the next generation. Quite literally, you are raising up the next generation. There's nothing more important. So I like recently developed this passion for like when I'm looking at a new mom and she's like, all I've done is like do laundry and change diapers. And I'm like, that is the best place for you to be.
It's not like all you've done. You're like, you've done a lot.
Matters. It matters. And like, I am not in that season, but yet I have found so much joy in sitting across from moms, looking them in the eye and saying like, you're right where you're supposed to be. And like what you're doing is so important and it's so impactful for the kingdom. They're not seeing it right then and right there when they're changing the diaper, but it's like, okay, your daughter, your son like is going to impact when they grow up. And
because you're loving on them well, you're serving them well, you're serving your family well.
You're serving your family. And then another thing that I routinely post about are flowers, and
which I love.
I just love flowers, and really the root in that is the Lord really speaks to me through flowers. And
I love that.
One time, this was like a while ago, you know that game where it's like, what's your favorite color? What do you see when I say this? What animal? Like that thing tells you like how God sees you or something like that. But it was some question of like, what in nature? I think it was something about nature. Does like the Lord see you as, or something like that? And if I said flowers, and it was,
I see that for
it was in that moment that I was like, whoa, like God just like really speaks to me through flowers, because flowers are not able to be beautiful on their own.
100%. Yeah.
And they start out as a seed and they're underground. The Lord waters them and the Lord is what makes them grow.
So true.
They follow the sun. Like they're fully dependent on the environment. Like they're fully dependent on the Lord. Like they cannot sustain themselves. Like they're going to be born and then they're going to die.
Yeah.
And that maybe sounds kind of morbid, but like,
but also like that's reality.
True. Like that is reality of us as humans. Like I'm not beautiful on my own, and I'm not growing, and I'm not strong, and I'm not fill in the blank on my own.
Because
like,
of me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's only because of the Lord. And I also just love how flowers, even the same like species of flower, they all are different.
Yeah. Wow, that's such like a beautiful like metaphor for like humans.
To humans.
Just, like,
they're all so different. It's like a sunflower compared to a sunflower. The petals are different. Like they
might look similar.
They're
similar,
not the
same.
But they're different. Yeah. And I love seeing just like a field of flowers and just being like, whoa, like these are all so beautiful and so individualized. They serve such a great purpose. Like the bees coming and getting the honey and like pollinating. And that's like kind of like a deeper thing that I just love in flowers is like, okay, I am not beautiful on my own in the same way this flower is not beautiful on its own. I cannot survive on my own in the same way that this flower cannot survive on its own. And then also just like, I have been fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God, in the same way that this flower, the Lord, it's not been made in his image, but the flower has been designed in a specific way to serve a specific purpose.
Right. Yeah.
And so I like have now kind of adapted that into like, always buy yourself the flowers. And it's like,
that's beautiful.
The flowers, like whatever they might mean to you, they bring a joy and like a happiness to me. And it's just like a little piece of beauty in my home that every time I see beautiful flowers, I'm reminded, whoa, like God has made these flowers beautiful and he's also made me beautiful.
I love that. That's so pretty. I love that. Like, that's just such a beautiful like perspective and outlook. Also, I just want to backtrack for like a quick second and just say, if you are not a mom and you're like staying at home, like even as a wife, I think serving your husband and serving your family, because like that is a family as well. You and your husband is something intentional. And like if you're wanting to have kids in the future, then you're like prepping the foundation there now. And if you don't want to have kids, then like that's fine too. But like serving your family. So like I just want to make a point to say, like, you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom for it to be beautiful for you to be like serving your family. Yeah. Even if you're just serving your family, you're not just serving your family. You're not just serving your husband. I think there's like this like, which we don't need to get into necessarily, but I think there's this like stigma of like women should be trying to climb the corporate ladder and stuff. And it's like, you don't have to. Not everybody's called to that. If you want to be at home with your husband and be at home serving your family, serving your community, because there's other ways that you can serve. Like you can be creative in these other outlets, and that's also so fulfilling and so impactful in different ways. And so I just wanted to make a point to say, like, you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom for that to be beautiful, that you're going to do the groceries and you're cooking for your family and you're doing the laundry or whatever. Like, it's all beautiful, and it's all like such a necessary but also like beautiful way to serve and just be Jesus to people.
That's so good. And that serving doesn't have to be those like in-house things. That like,
and it also doesn't have to be confined to a woman either. Like it can be like anybody, but I'm just saying, like, I think there's like this weird stereotype of like, if you are just at home, like as a wife or as a mom, it's like this weird thing. And it's like, no, that's a beautiful thing. That's such a respectful and respectable job and like such a massive responsibility to like take care of the home.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be in the home.
Yeah, for sure. And I think something that you said that triggered a thought, which this might be a whole nother conversation too, but I think sometimes we mix up calling. I think that we've all been given the same calling. Yeah. Which is to go and make disciples. Yep. How we do that is different.
Yeah.
And that might be corporate. That might be small business. It might be entrepreneurship. It might be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom, or fill in the blank. Like
anything.
It plays itself out all differently, but we've all been called to the same calling.
Right. Yeah.
And then how the Lord leads us and guides us to do that is all different. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. And we get so caught up in the comparison of like, well, you're doing this and I'm doing this and yours is better than mine. It's like, no, we have the exact same calling. How we're doing it, how the Lord's called us to carry out that calling,
right?
It's just different, and there's no reason to compare. There's no reason to look down on or look up on. It's just like, hey, like we're doing it different. Because if every single woman was a stay-at-home mom, or if every single woman was out working a full-time job, it's like, oh, well, like, what about the other side of it? You know,
such a vital part.
Missing such a vital piece. And in the same way of like, kind of like we can't all be the hand of the body.
It's like the scripture that talks about like, you can't all be the ear, you can't all be the eye, because how would the body see if you didn't have
eyes?
Right.
Or so smell or walk or speak. It's like, we need each other.
None is more important than the other.
One is not more important
than every piece.
Yeah.
In order for it to work cohesively and like be able to do the calling that the Lord has for us.
Yeah.
Like, to really truly live out the calling of like making disciples of all nations. And
we need one another, because like who you're going to be able to reach is different from whom I'm going to be able to reach. Right. And like going back to like the content, it's like, okay, some people are going to relate to my content and others are going to relate more to yours.
Yeah.
And that's
like,
beautiful.
I couldn't create the stuff that you're creating.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be authentic as much as like I will try and do like implement the things that you're doing because I think it's beautiful and I'm like, I love that, but I wouldn't try and recreate that because I'm like, that's not authentic to me. And if I posted that, my flowers wouldn't look as pretty. Just kidding. No, but I'm like, you just have like this eye for like this thing. And so it's like what you're creating is specific to you and the perspective that you have. And I think that's like what you're saying. Like it's so intentional. Everybody has their own lane and the Lord's going to use that how he sees fit. And like us trying to recreate somebody else's thing it's not going to help anybody out. Like you're not going to do better by like trying to recreate what this person's doing. Because y'all could both post the same thing. I could post the same thing that you're posting. Mine would not do the same because you create it from a more authentic, like that's the way that the Lord's speaking to you and the way that the Lord's like moving in your life. If I tried to do that, it wouldn't be authentic to what I'm doing. And it's not what he has for me.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's beautiful. Like, we're all called to different things. It's just how we go about it. That's different.
Yeah.
Because we're all unique. We're all different flowers.
Unique. We're all different flowers. Yes.
Which I love.
And even something that, as you were speaking, it's something I'm learning with kind of dipping my toes into social media is also it's not about the followers.
No, not at all.
And it's not about the number of likes, the number of shares, the number of saves, the number of people the views. It's just like, whoa, like none of that actually matters if whatever I feel prompted to share impacts one person.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Then great. Awesome. If it impacts 0 people, then it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe like.
It might have impacted you though.
Yeah.
Like that's how I think about it. It's like, even if it doesn't impact anybody else, I'm learning from it. Like there are things that I'm learning out of it, which is like a beautiful thing as well.
Yeah.
So nothing's wasted.
Nothing's wasted. And I think that's something I'm like 2 weeks into,
which I love
TikTok, which is hilarious.
I'm so here for it.
TikTok is where I'm going a little bit more rogue, a little bit more like,
so go follow her.
Just
so good.
It's just a little bit more like I'm being real. I just like having fun. Like I'm purely having fun with it,
which I think is like a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. And I'm just like it's more like kind of like, this is my outfit of the day, or this is like a fun thing that I'm learning.
Which she's so trendy. So like literally I got these overalls because
I love them. They're so cute. They're so cute. I should have worn my tan ones. We could have matched.
That would have been cute. Next time.
But I've had to like, it's literally been 2 weeks. And already I've had to remind myself, like, it is not about.
It's so easy to get caught up in
how many followers, how many likes, how many. Like, I am doing this for fun. And then, like, I literally wrote out in my journal, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, but I was just like, God, like, whatever you want to do with this, do it. But, like, I'm not doing this because I want followers or whatever. Like, over the weekend, I don't really know what happened. Baylor, this was crazy. I just started my TikTok 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I texted you and was like, oh my gosh, I have 50 followers. This is so crazy. Wow. Like, wow. Yeah. Over the weekend, I got up to 1,000.
Abby, why did you not text me?
Because I was freaking out. I was literally freaking out. It was like 1,000 followers. And John Michael was like, what happened? Like, did something go viral? And I'm like, no, all my stuff still only has like 300 views, 500 views.
That's
like
crazy.
Not anything wild. I don't know what happened. Somehow in the algorithm, people started finding me. So I got up to like I got up to like 1,000 followers, and then that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like I could really grow this. Like in one weekend, I grew this. What about blah blah blah? Yeah. And I just kind of got in my head about it, and then I was like, wait, well, I don't know why I suddenly have all these followers, but I don't know who any of these people are, and they're all just like really random. Are they following me because they want to see and hear and learn from me and like what I and like kind of like be on this journey with me? Yeah. Or are they just giving me a follow because they like thought my outfit was cute, or like I don't know, which whatever it might be is fine. But then even this morning I was looking and it went back down. It's like down like 990 or something like that.
I think that's where it gets so easy to get caught up in it, especially when it like grows and you're like, oh cool, it's gonna keep doing it. And so then what doesn't, it's like you have to know like your why of like why I'm doing this.
And I got kind of sad, and then I was like, wait, that's like 12-20 people, however many it was, that decided I wasn't for them, and that's totally fine. Cool. Yeah. Also, I've been at this for 2 weeks and I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what my niche is or whatever.
You've got more than I've got on any of mine, and I've had my TikTok for I don't freaking know how long.
I literally don't know what happened.
I think that's incredible.
And that's when I was just like, oh, okay, whoa, God, like this is yours. Like do with this what you want. Yeah. And then I'm like kind of seeing them decrease. And it's like, okay, God, like, are you kind of weeding out all the random people that just clicked follow for whatever reason they did?
But I think that's good that like, because you're being intentional about it, like your identity's not caught up in this like social media, like how many followers I have, because it is easy, I think, like so to be like, oh, it's like growing, and then like it's not. So now I'm kind of sad because it's not, or whatever it is. And like, you won't even intentionally do it. It's like, I feel like I'm come from the same place of like, this isn't for me, this is for God. And like same with this podcast, it's like I might have 0 people listen to it, or I might have 5, or I might have 50 or whatever, and like I'm cool with whatever, because I think if one person gets reach from it, then great. And if nobody does, then I'm probably gaining something from it, and I'm learning, which I am. I've learned so much already in the weeks of doing this.
Or even just this conversation.
Like I'm gaining so much. And I'm like, if nobody else listens to this, I got so much out of it.
Yeah.
And like, I think other people will as well. And so I think that's where it's like, even from us, like being like, oh, well, we're like, we don't care about the followers. We don't care about the numbers. It's still so easy and so quick to get caught up into it again. So I think that's where you have to be like intentional, even with your social media, of like, okay, it's not about me. My identity's not in my numbers. My identity's not in this. The reason why I'm doing this is because of X. It's not because I want to make my name known. And I think that's where it comes not easier, but like a different way to be able to be like, my identity's not caught up in this because I know why I'm doing it. Yeah. And it's not for me.
Yeah.
But I love that you just like grew so much.
It was
like,
crazy.
Which I feel like is the Lord. Like, I feel like
100%.
Like, I mean, yes, your content's beautiful, but like you have made like from day one when we started talking about it, like, and I'm sure you were thinking about it long before then, like, and being intentional about like praying about it and thinking about it. It's like, that's what your intention was from the start. It was never like, oh, I'm going to do this so that I can like become like whatever. It's like, I'm going to let the Lord use this how he wants. And I'm just going to post the content that he's been putting on my heart.
That feels like it might feel silly, but it's impactful in some way. Yeah. And I mean, there's even times I've caught myself like, oh my gosh, like it's only 1,000. And then I'm like,
and you're like, wait, no, that's 1,000 people.
1,000 people.
Think about that in a room.
But then it kind of freaks me out of like, oh, 1,000 people are watching me make this flower arrangement, or 1,000 people are like knowing that I go on a date night or whatever. And like, obviously I'm not like tagging my location or like anything like super crazy.
Safeguarding. Yeah.
But there has been this like, oh, where, I don't know. I think I like my brain has expanded to like, do I actually want to do this? And like, this like feels crazy, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. I think I'm learning a lot in it and learning a lot of, like, where am I actually putting my identity? And I've had to tell John Michael, I'm like, I keep looking at this because I want to see like how many more likes, how many more followers, how many whatever.
That gets hard.
Really happened over the weekend because it was escalating so quickly. And I was like, that's not healthy. And like, I'm not doing this for the followers.
Yeah.
I literally just wanted a creative outlet, and I just wanted a place where I could just kind of like dump stuff and have fun.
Yeah.
And
enjoy it.
Share, like, a little tagline on my bio is sharing the little moments of joy in everyday life,
which is so like accurate for you.
And that's just what I want to do.
And I love it. Yeah.
I just want to highlight the little moments of joy, and they're everywhere. And like,
it's like you're getting to see it in just like the mundane of life, but you're choosing to see it from this perspective. Like, this is like a joyful, like beautiful moment.
Yes.
Even if it seems so simple and so like, oh, this is annoying even. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And so it's like remembering like, oh, that's why I'm doing this. Yeah. Like, it's not for XYZ. And if that comes, cool. Like, okay. But I'm not expecting it to. I'm not going out of my way. Yeah. Like,
it's like you have to kind of like start to set boundaries almost to like, because like I would get into this thing of like looking at my phone consistently and like going back to check and see. And it's like, no, because then my mood does start to change by what's happening.
It's like, oh, that one didn't get as many views. I wonder why.
Or like, I've only gotten 5 more likes when I had 50 like a second ago, or like whatever it is. And it's like, it's so easy to let how it performs dictate how you feel. Yeah. So it does get tricky, but I think that's like, I just think it's beautiful that like,
and I have to remember, it literally doesn't matter. It's me making an iced coffee.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Who cares? Like, who cares if that changed? Like, that didn't change somebody's life.
But it might
that
have.
I put brown sugar and way too much maple syrup.
No, when you dropped that brown sugar in, I was like, the face that you made was the face I was thinking. I was like, wow, that looked sweet.
It was. I was just talking, and then I was like, that was way too much. I mean, it was like funny and whatever, but just remembering why.
It's such a beautiful thing. I think it's so fun. I love it. We're going to have to do another episode because like I feel like there's so many more things that we could talk. We could talk travel. We could talk forever on travel, honestly.
Yeah.
We could probably talk more about like being a beginner at things. So there's a lot of things that I think we need to talk about.
I'm passionate about that too.
I was like, I saw your reel and I would totally get into it right now, but we've already been going for like an hour and 20. So, but we'll definitely have to have another one. This is fun.
This is really fun.
I freaking loved this. I think that was so fruitful. I think people will gain something. I gained something from this. I think the conversation was just like a really beautiful. What's funny is like none of that, like it was kind of sort of on my like list, but this is just what I love about like being able to like just chat and like have a coffee conversation, because this is the conversation that we would have regardless, which actually we haven't had one about like date night and stuff. So I love that.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to like let people in on our like coffee conversations, because I just think they're so fun and beautiful. And I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for being my first guest.
Wow.
It's so exciting. We love it.
Brews with Bay.
Brews with Bay. We got the coffee mugs. She's got Howdy Hey. I got Welcome to the Chaos.
Howdy Hey. Cheers.
Cheers.
This was a great episode.
We love it. Okay, well, that's this week's episode. I'll definitely have Abby back on. She'll be back on at some point. Wait, plug your Instagram and your TikTok.
Oh, my Instagram is Abby in Stark, and my TikTok is Abby Stark.
We love it. Go follow her.
Go follow me.
Cute.
It's crazy. I actually haven't told anybody that I'm on TikTok, so that feels wild. I just said that.
Yeah, it gets kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, like the podcast, it's so easy to like talk and be like, oh, did I want to actually share that with the world? Like I had that whole dating one and I was like, oh, that's scary. Like my friend, I was with her a couple weeks ago and she was like, I was nervous for you as you were talking, because it was like just like being vulnerable. And I was like, yeah, I realized how easy it is to be like, same with content. It's like so easy to like post something and you're like, oh, did I, like now that you have more people following, it's like, do I actually want that many people to know about this thing in my life? But I think it's beautiful. And I think it's cool to just be open and vulnerable and just like, yeah, I love this conversation. I think it's so cool.
It's fun. It's fun. So follow us. Listen.
She'll be back. She'll be back on the podcast. We'll talk about all the things. But yeah, I hate saying bye. So until next time, deuces. Bye.
Bye. I love it.